I got a question for y'all. Can the devil perform miracles? Now, I want to start with a premise here that not all miracles that we consider miracles are actually that miracles. So let's start with the basis of what a miracle is. And I'm going to give you other versions of what people might consider miracles as well. But the textbook definition is an event that appears inexplicable by the laws of nature and so is held to be supernatural in origin or an act of God. Now, if you took just that title, you'll think to yourself, no, the devil can't do miracles. But when you look at the word miracle based on how humans view it, it has two ways to look at it. Something I can't explain that came out of nowhere, or in some people's view, it's something that happened that gave me an option that I never had before. So let's go at it from the textbook definition. If we're going to ascribe miracles only being occurred by God, I guess you can't look at it any other way, and your answer would be no, the devil can't do miracles. But if you look at miracles as that was miraculous, I can't explain it, and not only because of God, but I just can't explain it, and it's to your benefit. You may even say, yeah, because look at some superstars, these actors, singers, they get a whole lot of riches, don't they? They get a lot of big houses, they get a lot of money. Wouldn't you call that a miraculous thing that it just happened? No, you're going to say that's hard work. Okay, good. So let's say that miracles can't happen by the devil. How would you explain the episode with Pharaoh? When Moses went, dropped the snake, and all of a sudden he, dropped his staff and it turned into a snake, and the prophets did the same thing. They got snakes to show up. Did God do that? Or they called to the devil to have him mimic something? You see, I think we need to reevaluate our whole concept of this idea of miracles, because we've been kind of indoctrinated into thinking that miracles are always good. They're always a God thing. You see, the devil is not above lying miraculously. He's not above telling you something so out of this world that you eventually think God did that. Why do you think celebrities do this? I'd like to thank God, while they're holding a golden statue of some random dude. God gave me this opportunity, and God this and God. Meanwhile, the movie that they're getting nominated for has all kinds of nude sex scenes in it, killing, shooting, cussing, and you smoke, all the whole works. But it's a miracle that they got the award. Would you consider it a miracle? You may not consider it via God, but it definitely is a gift out of nowhere by somebody who controls the earth, the world, the devil. So in some fashion and form, yes, he can indeed do a miracle, a miraculous thing. But if your viewpoint is always that a miracle is positive, good all the time, you know that you can't ascribe that to the devil too? You can, because when you're deluded, anything can be from God, as long as it benefits you, of course. How is it that we don't equate bad things that happen to us miracles? Are they not miracles? I would believe that they are. If something miraculously happened to you, but it was bad, but it happened for a purpose at God's behest, would you consider it a miracle? Or will you all of a sudden say the devil's coming after me? You see, what we have done is we've taken that word and ascribe it to only mean positive outcomes for me. Always. It never leads us down the road of maybe it's someone trying to lure me away. It's always, as long as it benefits me, it's from God. If it doesn't benefit me, the devil. And I think more people would disagree with that statement, especially people who have no belief in God, but they benefit fully from things they consider miracles. If you're one of those people that don't believe in miraculous things coming from the devil, you would have to discount quite a few things, especially the encounter that Jesus had with the devil when the devil promised him things. It would have been miraculous if he could pull it off. So why would he just say that he could give it to you? And it wasn't like Jesus said, you can't do it. Never told him that. He just said, you're offering me stuff that I already own, which means he probably can give it. Wouldn't that be a miracle? That would be. So why can't the devil perform miracles? Or I guess the better question would be, why don't you believe that he can? Don't forget, please don't ever forget that we're dealing with someone who knows how to copy. And in his efforts to copy, he will do what is necessary to make you believe that what you got is from the person that he hates most. Why? So that when things fall apart, you're also going to blame the person that he hates most, and inevitably you walk away. So it will behoove him to bring all kinds of things to your doorstep. Not everything bad that happens to you is as a result of the devil trying to get you. Sometimes the good things that happen to you that you ascribe to God are not from him at all. Have you ever asked, wondered? And why would you consider it good? And why is it only the things that are beneficial you harp on? Remember in the book, he also says, consider it pure joy when you face trials. Would you consider that miraculous? A really heavy trial, would you consider it miraculous? Or the instant you go through hardship, the first person you blame is the devil, even though your God promised you hardship was coming your way. He told you the world would hate you, but you're looking to be accepted. And when you're not accepted, the devil. And when you are accepted, God loves you. How can you even, with that viewpoint, figure out what a miracle is at that point? You're exchanging your positive experiences for reality. And it's not always the same thing. Yes, the devil can indeed mimic a miracle, produce one, give you an opportunity, give you things, give you stuff you never thought you'd have before. Money, fame, notoriety, a house, a car. And yes, God can indeed do the same thing. The question you should be asking is, what is the purpose of what I'm getting? This is how you'll get to the bottom of which miracle is being presented to you, whether it's from the devil or from God. And most people won't do this because they value the experience too much. They never take the time to go ask God if it's from him. They just assume. They just figure it must be good. It's mine. I mean, happiness was a positive thing. And then the next time you get a miracle and it's even better, you must be thinking, man, I'm really living good. And then by the third or fourth or fifth time, you start seeing that it comes with some caveats. And you're like, with God? Well, you didn't consult him the first time you took the miracle. Why don't we consult him first to find out whether or not it's even from him? To give him the title of you're giving it to me. We are told that he is a cunning, sadistic fox, the devil is. And you think he's just going to be blatantly obvious about the things he's doing? No, he's going to mask it. He has to mask it. He has to make, and he has no problem with you ascribing things to God that aren't his. People keep saying, well, the devil can't stop you from doing it, stop you from doing it. Sometimes he'll let you under the guise of you thinking it's about God when he knows full well your heart. Because he's the one that presented you with the opportunity. But you ran with it as though it was God's. And then you fall down this fall down a hill, and you get up like, God, why are you so far away? Well, you weren't on the track I gave you. You followed some other track that this other dude gave you. You said it was from me, but you never once asked me if I sent it. You just assumed because you benefited from it, it must be from me. When we start to reevaluate our ideas of miracles, I think we will have a much more robust view of who God is. The majority of the times that we go through things, and our first question is why, we always seem to ask it of a pastor or a friend. Very few of us sit down in quiet by ourselves and ask God directly why. I can't say why we do that. I don't know if it's out of fear, out of habit, out of religion. I don't know. But we never ask him the why. Maybe we should start. Maybe we should start taking things as it happens straight to him to verify first and foremost, did you send this? Did you approve this? Is this from you? Is this a miracle? Then you have to look at things like this. Is this beneficial to my walk? Is this going to bring me closer to God? Or is it just making me happy? I think once we start to include those things in our thought process, you'll find out real quick that the devil has way more influence over what you consider godly than you allow him to have, or even you think he does. He's a trickster. He knows how to use truth against you. He did it with Adam. He did it with Eve. He'll give you just a snippet and then put a blanket lie on top of it, and you're thinking it's truth because that's the closest thing to you. It benefited you. God said he would bless me, and if it's a blessing, can't be bad. But is it a miracle from God or a mimic from the devil? The end result will be your soul. I don't think you want to wait till the end to find out. If in all of your trials and tribulations and all of the things that you consider bad and all the things you consider good, you never approach the throne about it, all you're functioning off of is your benefit, nothing else. And you'll get nowhere with that. Because the instant something goes south on you, you know who's the first person to get blamed? God. You know who's the first person you turn your back on? God. Because you ascribed something to him that wasn't him, and then blamed him for it, and that's exactly what the devil wants you to do. So yeah, he does do miracles, because he's miraculously hoping that by the end of it, you're going to turn your back on God. My suggestion, talk to God first.